mystery of the cross. The redemption cross.
Oh, cross of Jesus. Oh, cross. I love the cross of Jesus. Lord, the sacrifice is greater than the cross. Oh, cross. Oh, cross of Jesus. I love the cross of Jesus. Lord, the sacrifice is greater than the cross.
Oh, cross of Jesus. I love the cross of Jesus. No other sacrifice greater than the cross. Oh, cross of Jesus. I love the cross of Jesus. No other sacrifice greater than the cross. Calvary,
Calvary,
He went for me.
He went for me.
Oh, Calvary,
Calvary,
Jesus
went for me.
No other sacrifice.
No other sacrifice is greater than the cross.
Calvary,
Calvary,
oh, Calvary,
He went for me.
He went for me.
Calvary,
Jesus
went for me.
No other sacrifice.
No other sacrifice is greater than the cross.
No other sacrifice. No one else could come for me. No other blood to shed. Oh, yeah. Oh, cross.
Oh, cross of Jesus.
Cross of Jesus.
I love the cross of Jesus.
No other
No other
sacrifice.
sacrifice is greater than the cross.
Let me hear your voices.
Oh, cross of Jesus.
Cross of Jesus.
I love the cross of
No other
No
sacrifice.
sacrifice is greater than the cross.
Calvary.
Calvary, He went for me.
Calvary.
Calvary,
Jesus
went for me.
no other sacrifice.
All the sacrifice is greater than the cross.
No other sacrifice.
Sacrifice is greater than the cross.
Remember the cross.
Here we go. I see you over there. Yeah.
Hey, 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 welcome everybody to a new month, the month of March. Wow, already we're saying, where's time flying? We'll talk about that a little later today, shed some light on it. But I'm just going to say, welcome to this portion of Gospel Mood Entertainment. I am Earl the Black Pearl, and my show is Immunity for Life. And I would like to thank Sister Kim Kelly for the vision of having this new app available to you guys so you can be entertained and educated at the same time. Today we're going to be talking a lot about immune system health. As you know, my show is Immunity for Life. And so we're going to talk about those subjects today. And you'll see a couple items on the table. We will get to those in a few minutes. But as I usually ask at the beginning of my show is, why health? Why should we be healthy? What's in it for us? Well, without health, you cannot do anything well. Without health, if you're an artist, you can't produce the best work you do, whether you're singing, painting, whatever. Without health, knowledge is not present, and if it's present, you can't use it properly. So health is very important. Without health, you can't love yourself, you can't love others, and others won't love you. It's very important that we keep healthy every day, all day, as much as we can. It's important that we check ourselves daily to see if we're doing the right thing to stay healthy, not taking things for granted. It's very important that we believe that next to God, health is important. If you have spiritual health, you should have and must have physical health also. Both of them go hand in hand. With good health, we can go out and we can teach people and preach to people. With good health, we can show them how we live healthy physically as we are living healthy spiritually. Very important. So, why are we not all healthy? Today we're going to look at aging as one of the factors, and that aging covers a lot of stuff. As I said earlier, already it's the 1st of March, first quarter of 2018. I don't know about you, but to me, it's like I just celebrated New Year's Eve 3 weeks ago, not 3 months ago. And we say, boy, time is flying. Wow, where did it go? Well, have you ever stopped to think, really, that time hasn't really changed much? There's still 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in the day. So really, time itself has not changed. So what has changed? Well, again, let's pause for a minute. Again, there's time. And think about it. Things we used to do, and this belongs to me personally, things I used to do in an hour is taking me an hour, 15 minutes, an hour and a half to do the same thing. So time itself hasn't changed. It's just that I'm getting slower. I was slow from morning, but I'm getting much slower now. So think about it really. Why are we slowing down and blaming it on time? Well, we may be thinking about and solving problems slower. We may be thinking that we can walk from here, point A to point B, in 5 minutes, which we used to do years ago, but now it's taking us 7 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So we have to think along other lines. It's us personally who are slowing down. And why are we slowing down? Well, think of an athlete, top class athlete, Usain Bolt. At some point in his life, being the fastest man on the world, he's going to slow down to not the fastest man in the world. Does he desire to be the fastest man in the world forever? Of course. Who wouldn't? But is that a reality? No. No. Because there were athletes before him who had the fastest time in the world. And he overtook them and he beat them all. Now he's the fastest man in the world. But it's not going to last forever. The point I'm trying to make is that we grow older every day. And our functions and how we do things changes according to our age. For instance, we always say you're 10 years old or 80 years old. Well, old is nothing. It's just a word. Because once a baby is born, and somebody, a stranger or family member, sees a baby and says, "How old is the baby?" And you say, "Oh, it's 3 months old." They never say 3 months new. They say 3 months old. So you're old from the time you get out your mom's womb. But we grow older. And that's the important thing to remember, older. And as I like to point out, the only person who doesn't get older is a dead person. Make sense? So, as we grow older, things we do and body functions, muscles, mind, and everything tends to slow down because they're being used 24/7. And if we don't maintain our bodies properly, we get older faster. We're all going to get old unless we die. But we can slow down the aging process by taking a good look at what we do on a daily basis. So take a look at how your mind works. That's mental health. And mental health has a lot to do with our environment and also the things we do to ourselves, the things we think about, our daily habits. All these has a lot to do with mental health. See, some people are mentally strong, their minds work really well, although they may not be able to run and skip and dance and jump like the other people. So they're less healthy or active physically, but mentally they're up there. They can figure out problems and remember stuff and all that. They don't have a problem with that. So health is divided in different sections, not just one thing. You have mental health, you have physical health, you also have spiritual health. And that in itself is the best health anybody can have. They have good spiritual health. They keep close to God. They try to live a righteous life, a good life, a helpful life, a loving life. That in itself gives people spiritual health. So, why would we not take care of our bodies if we take care of our spiritual side? Why would we neglect to take care of our bodies, to keep it healthy as we keep our spiritual life healthy. Doesn't make sense to me. Because all of us who read the Bible knows that our physical bodies are the temple of God, the Spirit. The Holy Spirit lives in our body. So we should keep that as healthy or healthier than our spiritual life. There are certain factors that doesn't allow us to do that easily. Even although deep down we say, yes, I have to take care of myself, I have to do the right thing, eat right, exercise. Those are things we can do and we should do. But there are other factors beyond our control that are just as critical as eating and drinking right and getting sleep. And these things are like the environment itself. Because people who live in rural areas or the country, as we like to say, they don't have the same environmental challenges that city folk have. There's not that much pollution from cars and exhaust and factories. The air there is usually cleaner in the country. You got nice river water to drink and not the recycled water that city folks have, treated water. We have nice fresh air and water, and we got nice food that doesn't travel 3,000 miles to get to your table after 2 weeks. So they got a lot of pluses. So people who live in the city, yes, we have a lot of challenges with bad air and water and food and everything else. So that in itself is beyond our control to a certain extent, because there are nice purification systems that will give you relatively clean, much better water than the sewer the city gives you to drink in your pipes. And if you have the money, you can buy organic foods, which are supposed to be purer and more nutritious than the regular food you buy in the supermarkets. So yeah, given the money, you can live better, healthier. But the real fact is that as we grow older, like anything with the mechanics, and our bodies are mechanically made up. We function through electrical impulses, various parts of the bodies. So we're like machines, but unfortunately, whereas you can take out a motor or transmission in a car and put in a new one, and you're back to square one, you're good to go. Well, it's not so easy with the human body. It has been done and it is being done. But basically what is happening, you're trading money to doing one thing and more money to do another thing, which if you had started to prevent that thing from happening in the first place, in the long run, you'll save a lot of money and you'll be healthier. See, when we eat and we drink, when we walk, we talk, we run, we jump, we skip, even when we sleep, we're destroying cells in our body. What? Yes. Yes, we're destroying cells in our body willfully. That is how we get energy. We got to burn the cells in our bodies. First we eat the food and it gets digested, and then we have to, there's a system, the digestive system, that sorts out what they want out of the food we just ate, what nutrients they want to keep our bodies on the move. That's why we eat, so we can get energy. To get energy, we have to burn the cells. There's no way around it. When we burn the cells in our bodies, and don't forget, there are trillions of cells in our bodies, and those cells are being made and they're being destroyed on a daily basis, 24/7. There's no vacation, no holidays, no overtime, no time off, no sick days. 24/7. They're doing stuff in our bodies to keep us active, to keep us alive, to keep us well. With that in mind, what happens to all those cells that are dying and are destroyed by what we call oxidation? Good question. So let's look a little bit at oxidation. Most of us go to the supermarket, we buy an apple. So if you have an apple in your house right now, you go and you cut it, slice a piece off, and you leave that apple sitting there the rest of today and tomorrow. And you'll notice that when you first cut that apple, it was nice and pretty and clear inside. No matter what skin it had, red, green, yellow, inside it's usually white, off-white, and it's nice and clear. The moment you see a spot on that, that means that apple has started to oxidize. In other words, it's getting rotten. You leave it there for a week, the whole thing will turn brown and the skin will dry up. It's being oxidated. Right? The air is doing its work naturally. Same thing if you like ripe bananas like I do. You buy the bananas in the store and it's usually half ripe. And you don't see any spots or blemishes on the skin. Because I usually look for that first. And if I see one, I know I don't want that one, it's got that spot on it. But after a couple of days, it starts to ripen up, and then you see these black spots starting to come. We call it speckling, right? And it's supposed to mean that the banana inside now is well ripe and ready to be eaten. It's at its full ripeness. But the skin outside has started to oxidize already. If we leave the banana there for a week, it turns completely black on the outside. And the inside it will be mushy. Some people like it. They take it and they make banana fritters. Banana porridge, nah, they use a green banana. But fritters, yeah. Because the inside is still edible, although the outside doesn't look that good. But that is what is happening in our insides, more or less, every day. Every day. So that's why the cells are rotting. That's why the cells are being killed. That's why the cells are damaged, because oxidation is taking place. And oxidation takes place when the body, the system is burning those cells so that we can get energy to move about and do the things we have to do. That's where energy comes from. And you say, man, I'm tired. Wow. I had a hard day today. I had so much work to do. I'm so drained. That's what is happening. You burned a lot of cells that day. And the byproduct of burning cells is what we call germs. But the scientists call it free radicals. Free radicals are cells that have been damaged by oxidation. And they're floating around in the system, in the blood, wherever they are. And they don't belong to any particular thing. They're just floating around. So if they just keep floating around, they started their own club. Now they're starting their free radical club. And the only members they take are the ones that are damaged and floating around. They don't want the good cells. As a matter of fact, what they do they attack the good cells. They attack them. They steal their glutathione, right? And then those cells in turn becomes damaged. So voila, they got a new member, or a new million members. That's how it works. And this happens in our body on a daily basis, like I said before. Can't say too much because people don't realize that that is what is happening in their bodies, in our bodies. There is this war going on in there between good cells and bad cells. And they don't take any prisoners. They don't take prisoners. It's kill or be killed. Simple as that. So here comes the savior for the cells. A lot of you have never heard about glutathione. And most people who know about glutathione still have no perception of how critical it is to our being alive and staying alive. Critical. Not important, way beyond importance. Critical. Glutathione is the master antioxidant in our bodies. And of course, you've heard about antioxidants. A few years ago, nobody knew what an antioxidant was. Now today, almost everything manufactured has antioxidants in them. Some good, some better, some the best. But no matter what antioxidants we take, which by the way are usually supplements, if they're not included in a prepared manufactured product, it's usually vitamins and minerals, which are the antioxidants of preference, such as vitamin C, vitamin D, B complex, vitamin E, you name it. They're all antioxidants because their job is to detox the body and get rid of those germs or free radicals that are present. That's their job, right? Some of them do a good job. But the scientists have discovered that without adequate glutathione present in the system, in the body, they don't work as well. They don't work as well. See, they need a master antioxidant to help them out. The best way I can think of right now to explain the work of glutathione is by referring to Dr. Oz, who you know, Dr. Oz show on TV. Okay. You go to YouTube and you type in Dr. Oz and glutathione, and it's spelled Glutathione, glutathione. And the easiest way to remember that or pronounce it is to think of a man and he's gluing his tie on. Glue that tie on. Easy. That's the way I was told. But anyway, you go to the type in Dr. Oz and glutathione on YouTube, and you will see what I'm talking about, because he did a very excellent demonstration of just how glutathione works in our system, in our body. Right? So take a look at that. But I'm going to go on, and I will tell you again that glutathione is the most important antioxidant that we have in our bodies. And funny enough, it was placed there by Father God, the Almighty. Everybody was born with glutathione. The baby had a full tank of glutathione when it left its mother's womb. Full tank. 100% full tank of glutathione. Okay? So the good Lord, in His wisdom and mercy, He supplied us with that at the beginning. We didn't have to go out and buy it or pick it out the tree. It was in our bodies. Our business is to keep it the level up, so it will do what it did when we were little babies. I remember used to eat dirt. Just pick up the dirt and eat it. My mom would say, throw that away, it's dirty. Don't eat that. Germs. No, we didn't care because we had a full tank of glutathione. So when we ate the dirt, when it went into the system, the very little that we were able to eat, because Mom always boxed it out of our hands anyway, but the very little that got in the system, the body was able to take care of it right away. So it didn't hurt us. But as we grow older, things start to change. Because the baby, when it's born, usually just lay there and cry and poop. Didn't have to do much. And then it learned to walk. And it learned to run. And it had to go to school. Then it played games. So they're using up more energy. That's what I'm trying to say. Using up more energy. And always keep in mind, every time you burn energy, you create free radicals. That's the equation. Energy equals free radicals. It's like you burn the gas in your car, it comes out the tailpipe as exhaust. If your engine is good, you hardly see it and you never smell it. But if your engine is not maintained properly, you start getting black smoke coming out the tailpipe, and it smells. So that's when you need to get it into the repair shop and fix whatever is happening inside that engine, in the motor. So you'll get good things out the tailpipe, and the car will work better. Our body is the same, no different. So as we start deciding what we want to eat on our own, we're on our own, we're not longer eating mom's solid food. We start going to McDonald's and Burger Kings and Pizza Hut and all the other things, the so-called fast foods, convenient foods. They're not the same as a home-cooked meal. And there are very, very, very many reasons for that. But we will take that another day. Right now, we're thinking about our glutathione in our bodies and how we can maintain the level. So we take supplements, and supplementation is good, but I must warn you that not all supplements are created equal. As I like to say, there's good, better, best. The good ones may work, then again they may not. The better ones work sometimes, then again they may not. But the best ones work all the time. That's why they're the best. They work 24/7, 100%, all the time. So let's look at some supplementation. The body has a lot of different systems. We are a systematic body. I wouldn't even start to tell you all of them, but the major one is the immune system. Then you have the pulmonary system, to do with the heart. And you have the system that does the eye, ear, nose, throat thing. You have the skeletal system. So the body has a lot of systems. But the one that regulates all of these systems is the immune system. Immune system consists of what we love to call in business soldiers. And these soldiers, which go by a variety of names, but the one I'm thinking of right now is called the T cells or the killer cells. Now these cells, they're frontline soldiers for our immune system. Anything enters our body through the skin, the eye, the nose, the mouth, the ears, they detect them immediately and they sound the alarm. They say, whoa, strangers around here, let's go check him out, see what he's up to. And if they detect that it could be a danger to any and all parts of the body, then the T cells go into action and they get rid of that stranger immediately. Immediately. He's toast. That's their job. And then there are other cells, once they kill that cell, or those cells, they say, okay, put down your weapon, he's gone, they're gone. You can go back and do what you were doing before. See, that's what the immune system does. But sometimes the immune system attacks itself. Like those T cells, they no longer listen to the general. They're going to do their own thing. Them's the free radicals. Those are the bad guys we're telling you about. Right? So when your glutathione level is high, it's able and willing to take charge. It marshals the forces and it said, okay, here's a bad guy over there, there's a bad guy over there, you go get them. Right? And so the vitamins that we take on a daily basis, they go on the attack and they grab a free radical. But without enough glutathione in the system, in the body, they would be personally responsible for the bad guy they got a hold of. All this is on Dr. Oz. Go check it out. That's where I saw it. So they take this guy and they have to get him out of the system. But with a lot of glutathione in the body, glutathione says, okay, I'll take care of that. You go back and you grab another guy. And that results in your entire immune system able to fight off any and all diseases, including influenza, including cancer, including dementia, any disease you can think about. It's dependent on a high glutathione level. That's it. Problem solved. Now, how do we keep our glutathione levels high? Because it's critical that it be at a high level all the time, not just yesterday or tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So we have to feed our glutathione because we cannot eat glutathione made in the body. We cannot eat it. So we have to have building blocks. Now you think about somebody creating or making a house, building a house. They need ingredients to build that house. Whether it's the structure is made of wood or concrete, they have to have the building materials to build that house. It's the same thing with us. People who love to bake or cook a nice meal, they have to have the right ingredients in the right proportion to get the best result, get the nicest, tastiest cake, the best acting saltfish, right? They need the correct ingredients. So does the body. So in order to have a high glutathione level, we have to have certain ingredients. And these ingredients are the ones that help the body to produce glutathione in sufficient amount to keep the immune system healthy. Now, what I have here is such a product that is a building block for glutathione production. It's called immunocal platinum, and this is the first generation immunocal regular. Now, both of them do exactly the same basic functions. We just like to use little acronyms, so we talk about AID, AID. So, first, the A is for antioxidant. And as you know, antioxidants are there to clean out the free radicals, to get them out of the system, so that they can't gang up on us and cause the dreaded cancer cells. That's antioxidant work. Okay, detoxifying. Then the I is for the immune system itself. Because once the glutathione is cleaning the body, it is automatically building the immune system, getting it stronger, bringing it up to par. So, then the D is the detoxification of each and every cell. Bear in mind, I'm talking cellular business here. Not your cell phone, but our body's cellular business. I am from the West Indies. I'm from Jamaica. And I still remember to this day, when I was a little kid, before I became a teenager, I was under the management of my mother. And every month, like clockwork, always on a Sunday morning, once a month, we would get our laxative or washout, as they call it. It could be herb tea, it could be cenopods, it could be castor oil, but it was washout time. Oh, I hated that. But you know what? I never really got sick, to be honest. Never got sick. Okay? So that is washout or detoxing as we know it. The only drawback to that is that when that thing is doing its work, it's killing everything in its path. Whether it's good or bad, it's just taking it out of you. So the good flora, gone. Bad flora, gone. It didn't distinguish between good and bad. It just said, you, come on, we're going. And of course, you always had the gripe in the belly, the bloating, all the bad stuff. But in the end, it worked. Nowadays, we have little so-called laxative that don't do anything. They don't do anything. You still need detoxification. But all the washouts you get, those were organic. They just washed out the gut, the stomach. They didn't touch any other organ, just the gut, just your belly, your bowels. That's what it cleaned out. Never cleaned the heart, never cleaned the lung, never cleaned the liver, never cleaned the kidneys, just the bowels. But what we're talking about here is total detoxification of each and every cell in the body. And the cells are what makes up all the organs. There's no organ in your body without a cell. The cell makes up everything we have. So when you're cleaning the cells, you're cleaning everything, bar none. None can escape. That's how good it is. And that's what immunocal and immunocal platinum does. That's their main function, right? Detoxifying the body, building the immune system, and a master antioxidant that helps other antioxidants like the vitamins and the minerals to be more efficient in doing their work. So, what is immunocal and what is immunocal platinum? Immunocal and immunocal platinum are the premier flagship products of Immunotech Research Incorporated, based in Montreal, Canada. Woo! Strictly and proudly Canadian. The research goes back 40 plus years. Actually, Immunotech did research under the guidance of Dr. Gustavo Bunas, imported Italian research scientist. And the work was done at McGill University in Montreal for 20 plus years before they even decided to put it on the market. That in itself tells you something about this company. Because modern day companies, no matter what they do or what they're selling, first, they don't research the product before they decide to put it on the market. They do the reverse. And because of that, they come and they go because they have no foundation. They haven't built up enough research credibility that people take them seriously. I could go on and tell you about Immunotech Corporation, but a couple of things I want you to understand right away. This is a very credible company making a very credible product. They have over 70 international patents on these products, immunocal and immunocal platinum, all over the world, not just Canada. So they're well established. Their research and tests, never mind testimonials, there are hundreds of thousands of them on YouTube. And there's no company in the world could pay 100+ thousand people enough for them to give you positive feedback on any product. So it must mean one thing, that they've used it, it works for them, and they continue using it. I myself have been using it for 8 years. And it's based on a simple principle. The principle is, if there's a war going on 24/7 in your body, you need ammunition to fight that war and win. If this product provides that ammunition in that war, that daily war, you can't afford not to have these soldiers fighting for you. You can't. You're going to lose. You lose, you get very sick. Sometimes it's a painful death. Not scaring you, it's the truth. So, you need the ammunition to fight that war. And that's what immunocal and immunocal platinum does. You may be wondering, so why the difference? If the both of them do the same thing, why the difference? Well, very important differences. And none of what I'm about to say diminishes any of these two products in any way. For people with older cars, And again, I'm back to the car. They can drive around with unleaded gas. And the engine loves it. It works well. Right? But the newer models, they need super. They need that extra ingredient in the gas, added to the gas, for it to work perfectly in the new engines, the new high-powered engines. Both the gas works, but they work according as how they're needed. It's no different with immunocal platinum, which is second generation. This one is the first one that was discovered and manufactured and processed and researched at McGill University in Quebec, Montreal. This one is second generation, and another scientist from Germany who was one of the leading guys in research scientists in Germany, and he did a research and he added 2 ingredients to immunocal regular to come up with immunocal platinum. The 2 added ingredients made it very powerful for people who had very serious health issues, including AIDS, HIV, dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, you name them, respiratory tract infection, all that stuff. Because the 2 added ingredients, one, it got rid of inflammation. And as many of us know, when your body is paining all over, joints and everywhere, it's because there's inflammation present there. That's what's causing the pain, the swelling. One ingredient in here takes away the inflammation. Takes it out of the system, takes it out of the body. Pain's gone. And the second ingredient helps to balance the pH system of the body. Balance. Balance. Very important for the body. Balance. Right? So, because they have found out that cancer loves an acidic environment, it thrives on it. If they can balance the body to get it to a more alkaline state, the cancer is gone. Has nowhere to live. You have evicted it. Totally. That's how good that is. One thing that Immunotech Research Incorporation does, and does very well, is that they are top-notch. Whatever they do it very well. They're in no hurry. If it takes 50 years, they do it right. Because they're giving us, the users, value for money. Chinaman says, cheap thing no good. Good thing no cheap. That's the principle. If you're going to use substandard methods of production, then of course the thing is going to be cheaper. Your materials are cheaper. Your labor is cheaper. The way you do it is cheaper. So you get cheap stuff. Does it work? Not necessarily. Do you waste money? Sometimes, most times. We as a company, Immunotech, we spare nothing when we're manufacturing our products. All our manufacturing facilities, all of them, are inspected as if they are pharmaceutical facilities. The standard is not lower, same standards, high standards. We have to live up to the same quality control that the pharmaceuticals live up to. Okay? All our source materials that we use in our products are of the highest quality. Right? They're not on the natural, the regular farms you see around the place. Right? These farms are inspected, and the quality control is relentless. Hence, we have the best products. I am not aware of any lawsuits filed against Immunotech Corporation in the 21 years history. As a matter of fact, last year we achieved the rank of 95 of the best 100 companies that do natural health and wellness products, right? And we're moving up. But worldwide, that's a very, very high standard. Okay? So think about that. And like I said, you can go and you can check out Dr. Oz and immunocal, which produces glutathione. That's all it does. It's building blocks for producing glutathione in the body, not outside the body, in the body. Okay? You've been listening to Earl, the Black Pearl, and my show is called Immunity for Life, and I'm coming to you with the auspices of Gospel Mood Entertainment with our good hostess, Minister Kim Kelly. I'll be right back. Okay, so when I come back, I'll do the magistral and we'll cut off. Okay?
Okay, perfect. Thank you for tuning in to Immunity for Life with Earl, the Black Pearl Daley.
Now raise it up, sing for your glory. I will do anything just to see you, to behold you as my king. For your glory, I will do anything. Oh yes, I will, because I wanna see you, to behold you, sing for your glory. I want it, I will do. I'll do anything to see you, just to see you as Jehovah, to behold you, my King. I wanna be where you are. Gotta be where you are. I wanna be where you are. Gotta be where you are. Come on, raise it before him. Say, wanna be where you are. Gotta be where you are. I wanna be where you are. Dwelling in your presence. Come on, say it again. Wanna be where you are. Oh, I gotta be there. Come on, worshiper, tell him I wanna be where you are. Gotta be where you are. Woo. Oh, I wanna be where you are. I gotta be where you are. I wanna be where you are. I gotta be there. I really wanna be there. Said I wanna be where whatever it takes just to see you, to behold you as my king. I wanna be where you are. Peace is where you are. Joy is where you are. And love is who you are. Woo. Wanna be where you are. Somebody make that your prayer in this moment. Gotta be where you are. Everything I need is where you are.
Lord, you set my soul on fire, object of my desire. I finally realized that I need you in my life, right here by my side. You cover me day and night, and I just want to thank you for your mercy. Oh Lord, feel my heart for joy you bring. Give you all in the morning, in the noonday sun, in the midnight. Give it to you. Pull me up out of sin when my body had done me in. There was nothing until you stepped in and saved me. Now that I know the cost that you paid for me on the cross, I just want to say thank you, give you the highest praise. Lord, feel my heart, joy you bring. Give you in the morning, in the noonday sun, in the midnight. Give you in the morning, in the noonday sun, in the midnight. If only one return, if only one return to give you glory with all my mind, body, so let me breath in me. Let me be the one. Let me be the one. Would you let me be the one? Because of all I have, I know I gotta praise. Would you let me be the one? I'd be the first of last to give him everything. Would you let me be the one? And if all I had to give him was my praise, would you let me be the one? I will. Let me be the one. Would you let me be the one? Would you let me be the one? Would you let me be the one? I will, you know I will. Be the one. I will. Would you let me be the one? Let me be the one. Everything I've got, I'll give you in the morning, in the noonday sun, in the midnight. Give you in the morning, in the noonday sun, in the midnight. Give it to you. Hey, give you praise. Give you praise. I thought number one would surely be me. I thought I could be what I wanted to be. I thought of myself as a mighty
Make Jesus my all in all. From now on His name, I'm surely gonna call. And if I don't trust Him, I'd be less than a woman, 'cause I can't even walk without Him holding my hand. Thank you, Jesus. Can't even walk. I can't even without you holding my hand. Oh, Jesus. The mountain is too high, and the valley is too wide. Down on my knees, I've learned to stand. Can't even walk without you holding my hand. So hold my hand. Can't even walk without you holding my hand. Can't even walk. The mountain is too high, and the valley is too wide. Down on my knees, I've learned to stand. Can't even walk without you holding my hand. Can't even walk without you holding my hand. The mountain is too high, and the valley is too wide. Down on my knees, I'm gonna stay. I've learned to say, can't even walk without you holding my hand. Can't even walk. So help me, Jesus. Without you holding my hand. I can't even walk. The mountain is too high. Sometimes the mountain's too high, and sometimes the valley's too wide. Every knee shall bow, tongue confess, Jesus, 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 Jesus. I love to praise your name. I love to lift you up. We bless your name, sweet Jesus, 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 Jesus. I love to praise your name. I love to lift you up. We bless your
Welcome back, guys. Glad you hung in there and still around. I'm Earl the Black Pearl, and my show is called Immunity for Life. We're coming to you with the auspices of Gospel Mood Entertainment here in Brampton with our sister Kim Kelly. Woo! So let's pick up where we left off a moment ago. I was introducing you to the flagship products of Immunotech Research Incorporated, based in Montreal, Canada. The company has been in business for 21 years going, but research into this product, this awesome product, immunocal and immunocal platinum, was started in 1967. So it's been a long time. But it has risen to the top because it's such an excellent product. It's used by athletes, both amateur and major league players, whether it's football, hockey, track and field, baseball, you name it. It's been used and it's still being used. As a matter of fact, it was a part of our Olympic team to London, England, and the track and field contingent uses product consistently before the games and during the games and after the games. And they came back to Canada well respected because their performance had increased by such a great leap. Whereas before they started on this product, their average rating worldwide was in the hundreds, 200, 150. By the time the games came around, they were in the top 10. That's how great this helped them. Why did it help them so much? Because when they're on an immunity building product such as immunocal, it builds up the muscle strength, builds up endurance. It also builds up performance. Nobody taking immunocal platinum who are subject to doping techniques will ever be disqualified or banned because of use of this product. There is no thing in there. It's plain whey protein powder. Whey protein powder, plain. But where it stands apart from the average whey protein powder that you can get in the drugstore and health food stores is the way it's processed. And that's proprietary method of processing this whey protein powder. And therefore, its bioactivity is higher than any other protein powder you'll find on the market today. Okay. The platinum, and it says right here on it, it says maintains a strong immune system, just like that one does. Helps increase muscle strength and endurance and performance, just like that one does. And that is when it's combined with regular exercise, just like that one does. The two additional ingredients, CMP, adds protective peptides. and that's beneficial, and that again is to get rid of inflammation in the bones, the body, and wherever it is. And the other extra ingredients are MF supports bone health, reducing calcium loss. And you know, and I know that calcium is very most important for maintenance of strong bones, to stave off osteoporosis and all the bone disease. Okay? So, we can boast that today, March the 1st, 2018, this product, immunocal, has been used in Sick Kids Hospital. It's well recognized. There is no doubt in my mind that these products, they're a godsend. See, we pray for healing in various ways, whether by ourselves or with people laying hands on us and praying for us for healing. But I'm the first to tell you that prayer works. We pray long enough and hard enough, God hears us. But we know that God moves in mysterious ways. His wonders to perform. And healing is a miracle. Whether it's done instantly by laying of hands or by through prayer over a certain time, healing takes place. When somebody is healed instantaneously, it's because that person has taken action. The person who is praying to be healed, and the action they take is a spiritual action. They get closer to God, and they said, Lord, I leave it in your hand. And there's no doubt in their mind that they'll be healed. No doubt whatsoever. They're doing it on faith, but the action they're taking is taking and having faith, believing that it will happen. That's the action they're taking. And so the healing takes place. Whether someone lays hand on them or they're in the quiet of the bedroom, but they've decided, they've taken action that, yes, I'm going to believe this. What do I have to lose? I'm going to believe that it will happen. It has happened. That's the action. It's the same thing when healing takes place over a longer time. In this case, the person who desires to be healed takes action. Because the Father may send someone to that person. Sometimes they have never met that person before, but they existed and their paths cross. And that's the beginning of the healing. Because as long as they understand that you're healed by faith and also by action, the healing will take place, no matter how long it takes, no matter how gradual it may seem. It does take place, as long as you continue to believe and act upon your belief. That's the formula. But you have to take action. It's imperative that you take action. There is nothing else you can do but take action. if you want to be healed. I've talked to many people about taking supplements because I am a natural believer in natural products because naturally it has worked for me. Another day I'll tell you a little bit more about my history. But today I'm just trying to let you know that whatever you're going through physically, health-wise, there is hope. And the hope is not in pharmaceuticals, no matter what the doctors tell you. Right? Doctors are not taught to heal people. They're not taught to prevent. They're taught to treat. And if you look at how our drinking water is treated today at the treatment plants, there is no doubt that there could be better treatment. The fact that your doctor is treating you for whatever doesn't mean that's the best treatment available. What it means is that the treatment he's giving you suits him for whatever reason, and it's usually monetary reasons. So be very careful of how you allow your doctor or your medical practitioner, as they're called now, to manipulate you. See, it's in their best interest to make sure that you're a repeat customer. Not that the repeat is designed to get you better and heal you. That's not the main reason. The main reason is cash flow. People tell me they come to our presentations, they sit down, they listen, they agree that what we have is for them based on the needs. But the usual objection, I am on medication. My doctor says I'm not to take any natural supplements. No. To them, that's gospel. Why? Because the doctor is always right, 100%. Perfect. Never made a mistake. So if the doctor says jump, they say, how high, doc? Well, I'm here to tell you. And I will tell you time and time again, it's your body, it's your life. Okay? Take care of it and take charge of it. Don't allow yourself to be bamboozled and railroaded into doing things that you don't want to do. And most times your mind is telling you, no, this doesn't sound right. But because the doctor's insisting on it, as if it's his body or her body, you go along like a sheep, lamb to the slaughter. Sometimes they do get killed, unfortunately. But don't look for any recompense, because they've been along that road many, many times. So they have secured themselves the best lawyers they can find. And the medical association backs them to the hilt. Whether they're wrong or right, they back them to the hilt. So we, as little people, don't stand a chance of recompense. No matter how we can prove that they did was malpractice or mistake or whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So what I'm just saying is that take care of your bodies. Take care of yourselves. For those who are able, do your research. Get the facts straight, not from one person, but from as many persons as you can. so you can balance it out. You see, if I'm asking directions to anywhere that I don't know where I'm going, I'm not sure where I'm going, I don't just ask one person. I ask 3 people. Why 3 people? Well, I get a consensus. If 2 is right, then the other one must be wrong. Makes sense? So we need to do that. We need to ask second opinions and third opinions. And it's very strange that when we do our presentations, and at the end of it, we'll ask a guest or an attendee, so what do you think about what you heard? You know, what impressed you most? And usually you get the answer, oh, it was okay, you know. Yes, it made sense, but I have to think about it. Okay. So what else can I explain to you that will help you to make a decision? I'll have to go tell my husband or my wife. Okay. And how will that help you to decide? Because your husband or your wife wasn't here. They didn't hear what you hear. They don't know what you know. But that's the way it goes. Right? So you don't push it. You allow them to have their way. Because when they go into the doctor's office and the doctors tell them something, they don't say, oh, I have to go ask my husband or my wife. They just say, okay, doc, whether they understand or not. But he's the expert. Or so they say. So they just take what he says and run with it. A lot of times to their own detriment. Basically, I'm going to finish off on immunocal and immunocal platinum for today, because I would like to introduce you to another very important product. And this is primarily for men over 40. This subject is kind of taboo for men. They don't like to talk about it. On one of our flyers, we have a bird, the ostrich, and the ostrich has its head in the sand. It's trying to say, if I don't see it, it doesn't exist. But if you take a look at the picture, with the ostrich with his head in the sand, its butt is up in the air. So that's exposed. So anybody can kick that butt. The point I'm trying to make is, men don't like to talk about their prostate. Some men don't even know they have a prostate. Well, prostate is very important. It possibly is the seat of regeneration, because the seminal fluid runs through it. And of course, you may or may not know that's where the sperm is manufactured, so that men can produce babies with women. Regeneration, very important. Keep the family genes going. Prostate problems naturally occur as a man grows older. Here we go again. Age. Things tend to wear down when we grow older. And the prostate is no different. See, the prostate in young men under 40 is usually controlled by the production of testosterone, which is a hormone. And as men grow older, the body tends to produce less testosterone. So that control over the prostate is released. So the prostate starts to do its own thing. It starts to enlarge. So why is that a problem? Well, the first problem is that the urethra runs through the prostate from the kidney. Sorry, from the bladder, where the urine is stored until it's excreted through the urinary tract. That's the first problem. Why is that a problem? Well, you see, the prostate tends to enlarge and it starts to squeeze that passage for the urine. Squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, so it's get smaller and smaller. When I'm explaining it, the easiest way I can think of is the 401. Multi-level highway, right? Broad and clear, except for when they have accidents, but usually broad and clear. So everything moves along it nicely. Now, look at the 401 and then think of any side street or even the ramp getting off the highway onto city streets. It's very narrow, right? And it's like a bottleneck. If anything happens, it's plugged. So that's what happens when the prostate starts to enlarge. It doesn't only enlarge outward, but also inward, squeezing that passage where you're urine through. So the man finds himself, after a while, having to urine a lot more often. Also, finds it hard to hold the urine when the bladder is full, because with the restricted space, man doesn't empty the bladder as it usually does. So there's always some left there. No matter how he feels like he's done, there's always some left there. And so after a while, the muscles get loose and it starts dripping. So his pants get wet. It's embarrassing, but it's still not healthy. The man tends to ignore that. He tends to ignore that. So he may stop drinking water. Because he drinks water, he's got to go to the washroom. He stops drinking water, but that doesn't help, because you need water. You need 8 ounce glasses of water each and every day, so that the body can function properly. We're 97% water. And when the body gets dehydrated, all kinds of stuff starts happening, right? You get constipated, you get muscle cramps, your skin dries out, your eyes dry out, your nose dry out, your membrane. You need water. So it's not the less water you drink, the better. No, you drink the required amount of water for your own health, good health. Point is, you have to find a way to prevent the bladder from overflowing because of the restricted space. So it comes back to the problem that you have to prevent the prostate itself from enlarging that endangers you. How do we do that? Remember, testosterone was a governing factor in keeping the prostate healthy when you're a young man. And with a lack of production, it started to enlarge. So what we have here is a product called Magistral for men over 40. Bear in mind, everything we do at Immunotech Research Incorporated, which this product is a part of. All our products are natural products. We don't sell pharmaceuticals. Hence, your doctor can prescribe this, but you cannot get it at the drugstore, the pharmacy, the health food store. It's not available. It's available from Immunotech consultants. So we have a proprietary license for this. It has a natural health product number given by Health Canada. It's totally safe to take. Plus, it's a daily use product. You can use this every day. You cannot overdose. Unlike the little blue pills that are available, it's not toxic. And what it does, twofold. It's made up of 5 herbs. The first ingredient is saw palmetto. Everybody knows about saw palmetto and how good it is. Then there's ginkgo biloba. Again, most people know about ginkgo biloba. Ginseng, oh yeah. Maria Palma, hardly anybody knows about that. And Damiana, which is a root. And these 5 ingredients are blended specifically for Immunotech Incorporated. Nobody else knows the recipe. You will find products, natural products, that are designed to help with prostate problems and erectile dysfunction. But there's none of them that has these 5 ingredients in them. And they're designed to work together. Not to fight each other, but to unite, to work together, to give you the best result possible. And this works. Along with prostate health is the real reason why this product was researched in the first place. True story. Health Canada provided funding to research this product. Health Canada. 20 years ago. And it's still the #1 product on the market for prostate health and erectile dysfunction. Yes, erectile dysfunction, because that's the reason why it was researched in the first place, to help men and for men's health. True story. This was designed for men over 40, but today, men under 40 is finding it useful in supporting a good prostate health. Men under 40. Also, women are known to use this product designed for men, but it helps them with menopause symptoms, issues, urinary tract infections, disorders, right? This is how good this is. This is how good this is. Now, not to scare anybody, but I'm just giving you the facts. Men of color, women of color, people of color tends to get, for whatever reason, we tend to be susceptible and prone to these kinds of issues. We do. And so it is very important, even if you are under 40, you're close to being 40, chances are you know someone, whether it's a family member or a friend, an associate, they're not going to talk about any prostate problem they have until it's too late. I know this. They are reluctant to talk about prostate issues, but they'll be the first to tell you, oh, I had surgery last year on that. Or my dad died of prostate cancer. Too late. Too late. Who does it help? Nobody. It's just another tale, another loss. We need to be proactive in our drive for good health. We need to put away the little blue pills because they're not helping. They're temporary solutions. This is permanent remedy, permanent support for our prostate and for the woman's health also. If we don't do anything about our prostate health, what it does, it leads eventually to cancer. Because when our urine starts backing up and we cannot flush it out of the body as we used to, it gets toxic in the bladder. And with toxic comes the additional problem of cancer cells forming. And that's the beginning of the end. You see, you go to the doctor and he says, you know, it looked kind of not good, but borderline, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a biopsy and then you come back and we'll see what's happening. Because he has no idea. You can't tell with the naked eye. That's why they used to push the finger up the bum to feel if the prostate itself is starting to enlarge. That was the easiest way to do it. But men hate that. I hate that. Everybody I know hate that. So that's why men shy away from getting tested. But good news. Now we have PSA. Right? And it's a blood test. And you take your blood test, which is not intrusive. They prick a needle in your arm, take some blood, and they go test it. If you're okay, they say, okay, nothing wrong, go ahead, you're all right. But if something shows up in the blood, then they may call you back for that finger poke. Hopefully not. And if something is really wrong, then they do the biopsy. And if something is really wrong, they schedule you for surgery. Who needs that? Even if you pass your PSA test, you shouldn't be lulled into a sense of security. Because remember, the only person who doesn't grow older is a dead person. So this year, you do your PSA, and it said, okay, you're good to go. But now next year, you're hitting another year, which which may take you above 40 or way above 40. Doesn't matter. Right? Prostate enlargement is a natural occurrence, just as when you get gray hair. It's not nothing you do. It's a fact. It's aging. So if it was okay last year, there's no guarantee it will be good this year. You hope it will be, but there's no guarantee. What I'm trying to say is, let us be more proactive. Especially if your family has an history of prostate disease. And you're a son or a male in the family, wouldn't you want to make sure that it doesn't hit you like it hit your dad or your uncle or your brother? It's good insurance. That's what I'm trying to say. Good insurance. And people always think, I'm too young or whatever. But seriously, it's nothing to shrug off. Something to look at, investigate, and take care of it before it becomes a problem. That's called prevention. That's being proactive. My name is Earl, the Black Pearl. I'm a consultant with Immunotech Research Incorporated. I'm also an excited user of the products of Immunotech, including Magistral, Immunotech, Immunocal, and Immunotech's Immunocal Platinum, along with other products, which we'll get into from time to time. If you need more information, you can call me, Earl, 647-989-1039. 647-989-1039. And some more information that may be helpful for you. Each and every Tuesday night, we have open, free health and wellness seminars, and they are held at the Brampton Soccer Center. That's at the southwest corner of Dixie Road and Sandalwood Parkway in Brampton. For more information, again, give me a call, 647-989-1039. I'll be delighted to speak with you. So until then, thanks for listening and watching, and I bid you a safe good evening. Earl the Black Pearl signing out from Immunity for Life. Good night.
Each and every day, and now I lift my voice to say, you are worthy. Lord, you are worthy. Awesome are thy ways.